Hi, my name is Michelle Häusler. Welcome to my LifePage, and today I'll talk about financial trading. Before all of this, I'm going to give you a brief introduction about myself. So I'm mixed Chinese-German. I grew up in Singapore and I went to an international school there, United World College. And then after school, I moved to the UK and I studied my bachelor's in economics at the University of Bath. And then a few years later, after having worked as a financials trader, I embarked on a journey to find out more about life, and I ended up doing a master's in economics for transition at Schumacher College in the UK in Devon. So let me start by talking about what financial trading really is. So it's part of investment banking, but there's one subdivision, which is markets, in which we trade different instruments, which is equities and credits. So it's split into two parts, which is equities and fixed income. And under fixed income, I worked in a part which is credits. So it's all about company credits. And when we talk about that, it's bonds issued by companies. So I specifically traded financial companies and insurance companies' bonds. So these are then split up again in different sections, and each bond has its own life, its own interest rate, its own different aspect to it. Financial trading, and especially what I was doing, is market making. So you're buying and selling these instruments on a daily basis to make markets for clients such as hedge funds, asset managers, other banks, private banking, and as well as making profits for the bank that you're working at. Let me now talk about what education is really required for financial trading. And the first one that was very important for me is mathematics, to understand numbers, to understand the interaction of numbers, and more importantly, the broader scale. So not just counting and accounting and finance, but really working with numbers on a daily basis. So the markets are always moving, so understanding the correlation between different things through math. So it's very important also to understand interest rates, government bond rates, what's happening in the FX market, so different currencies, to see the interrelationship between these aspects, from governments to financial markets, to the housing market, to everything that can be associated with the economy. Skills that are required for financials trading. Logical thinking is fundamental. To be able to take different information, digest it, and then work with it in a fast-paced way that you can bring out like structured understanding from it. To be able to put logic together from different situations and information that you're given. So to really be street smart, I would say, is also something that's very important. To be able to feel as well as understand situations as they emerge, because it is a very fast and high-paced environment. The positives of financial trading. The work-life balance in the market section is amazing because you're working during market hours. I did start early in the morning, so let's say 6 o'clock, but I would finish by 6 or 7 in the evening. Other parts of investment banking, like IBD, for example, you can end up sleeping in the office for 3 days. So when I made my choice at the beginning of my career, this was one of the factors that I took into consideration. The challenges of financials trading, something that was very hard for me in this job was to keep morals and ethics. I believe that outside of the job, especially on the trading floor, everyone has a heart, their family, their friends, and their connection. But when you go into the trading floor, it was like I became a machine. It was all about profit maximizing, making the best profit for myself, for my company, working with clients. And I felt that at some points it jeopardized my values and what I really believed in. Like, for example, when I left trading, I had to work with clients and made a lot of money from them. Maybe not always in the most positive ways, I would say, or the most morally correct ways according to my values. But when I left, I was very close friends with some clients, and I realized that it didn't align with my values of what I was doing as a trader, making so much profit, and then having these interpersonal relationships with them, which I felt betrayed my own values and beliefs. Let me now talk about a typical day in the life of a financials trader. So, let me think. I would wake up early and hardly have any time for breakfast because I was always running and really late. I would get to the office around 6 in the morning and I would start reading the news from the night before. Actually, I would start reading it from my bed. So we would have emails and Bloomberg messages, and so you'd be really up to date the whole time. It's part of your life. It becomes your life, really. So, and then once I got to the office, I'd finish reading the news and write a morning review. So I'd have my view on the news from the day before, but also on the week ahead, the month ahead, and understanding where we were in that current situation. Then we would have a morning meeting every morning with all the different financial traders in different parts, as well as like rates, and equities. So we'd understand the global picture of what everyone's thinking in the market. And then around 7:30, we would open the markets, which means that you would sit down and make prices for the bonds that are part of your portfolio that you'd be allocating. So I would spend the morning making these prices and then start trading them. So typically, salespeople will start calling in, or I'd speak directly to clients about wanting certain prices for certain bonds. Sometimes they would leave me orders saying I want to sell or buy 5 or 10 million of these at a certain price, or I would just make them a market and they would sell or buy at that market price. I hope that I've been able to give a balanced view of financial trading. Thank you.